It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Milton Glueck along with Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson, and we're sitting here on the porch. I bet you Trace joins us soon. Sitting here at the porch at Milberger's talking about gardening. And we want you to give us a call and tell us what's going on in your gardening world. What are you concerned about the weather? I am.
Just to remind everyone, yes, it was how many years ago?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You brought that up. That was
February 14th and 15th and 16th and 17th and 18th and 19th.
2021.
Yeah.
There were many days without power.
Now, this one is going to be a little different if the Weather Service is right. It looks like the lows are the lows, but they get out of the lows and they go into the 40s. Is that good?
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Anytime we get back above
let's see.
or near 40, in other words, short duration of cold weather, we're good.
So Tuesday night's the big night. Tuesday, high near. This is such an amazing drop.
No, I got an update on the other days. They're going to be even colder. You said. I'm sorry. You talked about the drop.
Yeah. So
okay.
Tuesday, 73 for the high, then 31 for the low.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, high near 44, low around 23.
Right.
Sunny and high near 44 on Thursday.
Yeah.
But low around 29.
Yeah. So. The low was down there in 20. So
yeah, that's going to be cold. But I do remember from 2021, which was, I think, the year all those sago palms died. Is that right?
Yeah.
No. Some doofus on the radio said 95% of the sago palms
in fairness,
die.
which is the only reason I'm picking on you, everybody on the radio was saying they were going to die. That they were not coming back.
But you have to admit, it was humorous. Every week it was slightly different.
I've changed it a little bit.
95% will die. Well, maybe 65%.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, it was humorous. All right, 210-308-8867 is our number. 210-308-8867. Oh, I was going to say, I remember it just being in the 20s. For days, like 3 days, not going up to 44.
I think it was 72, at least 72 hours.
No, so 3 days.
Yeah, so 3. But I'm saying at least, but I think it was 4.
Yeah, it was a long time. So all right, well, if you have a question about, or you're just going to bring everything in, bring in my live oak.
Yes, bring in your live oak.
That's going to be hard to do.
Well, one of the things that folks, we've had a wonderful selection of rodeo tomatoes here. At
yeah, we sure do. And how did your class go?
Class went really well. Nearly full house. But I had to bring them in the house. The potted up tomatoes. And all of the attendees will have to bring their tomatoes up into the house for this weather especially.
Yeah.
And then next Saturday we've got a full house scheduled too.
Yeah,
here at Milberger's.
So should they call in? They should, actually, I guess at this point, just come in or call in.
Come in.
You know what I mean? Should they still make a reservation?
More people?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If they'll have to take a chance on whether we have. If everybody that's signed up comes in, then we won't have any more rodeo tomatoes to distribute. But they're certainly welcome to attend the lecture.
Okay.
And what has happened in the past, especially if the weather's like this, there'll probably be a number of extra rodeo tomatoes. And then you just got to figure out how you're going to protect them from the cold.
Yeah. I'm bringing everything in. It's going to be just like last time. The whole living room will be full of plants. But, and then...
Your wife is still talking to you?
Yeah, it was kind of...
Feral cats still talking to you?
The feral cats were not talking to us because we made it difficult to get to the litter box and all that, so they are not. I have a couple questions, speaking of things like that. But I do want to tell you that David Rodriguez is going to be here on Monday, President's Day. He's the president of the no, what is he the president of? Anyway.
No, he's not the president. It was the president of David Rodriguez.
The David Rodriguez fan club. Yeah. David Rodriguez will be here, and he'll be talking about growing your own fruit orchard. It's free. It's at 10 o'clock. So if you're off that day, come on in and enjoy the day and learn a lot. And then what could I do afterwards? I guess, I'm getting through it.
I don't know. You could go to the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas program. That's 12:30 to 3 at the San Antonio Garden Center.
Yeah.
Which is right next to the San Antonio Botanical Gardens. I'll go there, and it's free as well, although a donation is requested.
Yeah.
They have lots of fruit, lots of
food.
Food, thank you. Food and beverages. Snacks is what the word I was actually looking for. But so, yeah, you can make a whole day of it. It'd be great.
Yeah. So it's a Monday, and let's see what the weather's going to be. I think the weather's probably pretty nice on Monday.
Well, it's going to get down below 40, though.
Mostly sunny, high near 64.
How about
and then the low is 53. And then, the low Sunday night is 35. But by 10 o'clock, it's going to have warmed up, I imagine.
So that means, though, your rodeo tomatoes should be in the house if that gets down
Put
to
those
35.
rodeo tomatoes. Oh, yeah. Put them in the house, will you? Okay. So, I'm not sure which. Do you want the grass question first, or the? Did you want the?
Or did you just want to walk away? Well, I don't know. What's he looking for?
Oh, the hose. He's moving the hose. Okay, so.
Okay, so we talked about that. So it's really important.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of the varieties that David will be talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
Right here.
Yep, we sure do.
And they've done a great job of putting the signage up, telling you exactly what we have over here.
That doesn't
and in
surprise
fact,
me.
interestingly enough, there's some fruit trees that are blooming and leafing out already.
A lot of the blackberries have.
Well, I didn't even look at those. I was looking at the trees, of course. But they look fantastic.
I saw apples coming out.
Oh, apples. Yeah. Oh, you guys speak louder. I'm deaf in one ear now. Apples. Yes. The ones that we talk about for low chilling hours in this area, the Anna and the An Shiner are leafing out. The Anna is blooming out already.
Hey, do they sell Bradford pear? You have the trees, obviously.
Yes.
Do they sell them at H-E-B so you can try them?
Well, they sell
the Bradford pear
is an ornamental pear tree.
What's that?
Bradford is an ornamental.
Oh, well, but I thought you got pears off of it. No,
that's Bartlett.
Oh, Bartlett. Oh, we can't. Can we grow Bartlett?
No, we can't grow.
Which pears do we recommend for this area?
Kiefer, Lecante, Moonglow,
Orient. I just looked.
Basically,
Warren.
Asian pears.
Okay, and can we get those to try them before we buy them?
I would imagine.
Okay.
Oh, at H-E-B? Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. So you'll look for the hard pears, the Asian pear, the Bosc, B-O-S-C, the French ones.
So there are pears that you bite into it, you're going to leave your teeth, Milton.
Yeah. Oh.
And then there are pears that are okay just to eat off the tree.
Okay.
Kiefer.
So these are cooking pears.
Oh, okay.
For salads.
Are they juicing pears?
Juicing,
I think you could probably do that with either.
Okay. So I sort of have a juice question, and I may even try it. So I try to do wheatgrass because it's like supposed to be this unbelievable stuff for you.
Uh-huh.
And the guy at Natural Grocers was really nice, and he said, now just cut it, put it in, but it comes in a box, a little box with the roots all at the bottom. And he said, and then just put it in some sunlight and keep it watered, and you'll have more coming up. And it's growing like a weed. I mean, it is just amazing. Can we buy wheatgrass and plant it in the yard?
I think I have seeds.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think I like it. I don't know. It's just kind of weird how much it grows.
I'm surprised you haven't tried kale.
Oh, I have tried kale.
And?
It's good, too.
Okay.
I mix kale with a lot of different stuff. I know y'all don't want to hear about the juicing thing. You made that very clear last week.
I'd like to hear it every once in a while.
Okay, I'll have to bring you some beet juice. It's delicious.
I just don't like beets.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, you don't like beets? What's that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you mean you don't remember that Mark does not like beets?
No.
I do not like. I made that
talked about
clearly evident on this radio show.
No, I'm sorry.
I do not like beets.
Okay, so I have another question.
Okay.
No beet juice for you.
Okay.
And anybody's welcome to answer. As we were driving around on Valentine's Day, we went up to the hill country and saw some things that we had seen before, some land where they had cleared out the cedar. Okay.
Yes.
Where they had burned it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the first time we went up there, they were burning it. So, and it looked nice. There wasn't anything there, but it was kind of scrubby. But I want to make sure I gave the right information, and then I have a question. Cedar is the cedar that we talk about.
It's not cedar.
It's not. It's juniper, isn't it?
Ash juniper.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody asked me via social media, why is it cedar? And I said somebody didn't know what else to call it, but it's actually juniper.
Okay.
Juniper.
So it's juniper.
Yeah.
And it is not native. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
It is native.
It is native.
Well, it's been native for 30,000 years, so I guess you could call it, a native.
Oh,
plant.
I thought maybe.
Well, but there are a lot of junipers that aren't necessarily.
So, define invasive, please.
Oh, I don't know.
Can a native plant be invasive?
Sure,
yes.
why not?
Sure, it can expand out of its natural niche, which that juniper has, because there's no more fire and there's no more grass to burn to kill the cedar. There's no more California fires here.
And somebody was explaining too that its root system is different from many of the root systems like like of oaks and other things. So it kind of that root system goes out wide rather than deep, and so it so it's shallow and deep.
All trees are shallow and deep. It's a misnomer.
Okay.
Some of them will put sinkers, but not a big. It's not a carrot, in other words.
Oh, okay.
Now going for the juniper. Yes, there are two different types of juniper.
All right.
There's a red berry and a blueberry. We have commonly the blueberry in our part of the country. Now, if you get near San Angelo, that's a red berry. Red berry will resprout from the roots. If you kill the top of our blueberry, that's it. It doesn't resprout from the bottom.
Oh, interesting. So, but is it so? They theorized that the root system was what made it kind of more water hungry and steal water from other trees, so that it would have an advantage.
Who are you talking to? No,
I don't know.
I did hear a rumor once that the first quarter of an inch or eighth of an inch, it catches it in its foliage.
That Trace is right. That's what happened. So the foliage is so thick that it will intercept a lot of the rain. Plus, the bark is such it catches a lot as well. It's furrowy with lots of strips, and then you got this duff layer.
And that is why nothing grows underneath it.
Okay,
because not that it's doing anything to it, but it's bogarting the water.
That's what the kids say.
Yeah.
All the water.
Cool now?
But its roots don't keep other plants from getting water.
Anything below it is not.
Yeah, that's true.
It's catching. I mean,
but
seldom do we rain a lot.
The canopy.
Right.
Yes,
the canopy of the tree is catching it.
Okay.
So, anything that's trying to grow below it has to survive on even less water.
Okay. I was just curious. Okay.
It is interesting, and We like a lot of nice big stories, campfire stories. So you hear a lot of these things.
Okay.
It's a water sucker.
That's what I heard.
Not really, but it does intercept a lot of rain and prevent it from getting into the ground.
Okay.
And once you clear it out, a lot of grasses and trees. I used to talk to the guy, the wildlife managers in Kerrville, and they did a couple of fires, and they were surprised at how many Mexican redbuds, or redbuds in particular, came up after the fire. All these soils were in what we call a seed bank, and as soon as the juniper was gone, you had all these trees coming up, and other plants or grasses and what have you.
Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. 210-308-8867. You're listening to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas. Trey, since you're on the porch with us, what's happening, man?
Oh, we're just preparing.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
For the weather?
Yes.
Yeah. Was that your topic of
It actually
discussion?
was.
Okay. I'm learning.
We got a couple $1 million worth of inventory.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that after the freeze, it's still worth a couple $1 million.
Yeah. And so a couple weeks ago, when it was going to get into the 30s, upper 30s, I think, or did it nearly freeze?
That's a whole lot less work.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that different now when it's going to get in the 20s?
Well,
as to what you should protect?
We'll use tomorrow night as an example. They're calling for 31. There's a lot of things we're going to cover for Sunday night, but we're not going to move them because Monday is President's Day.
Right.
And if we move it, then it's less likely to are almost impossible to sell.
Yeah.
So we're going to move the sensitive stuff, which we pretty much already have, cover tomorrow night what we have here, and then Monday, after probably Tuesday morning, we will move more things.
Okay.
So, for example, like pre-moving citrus, we kept a sample of every citrus tree in the greenhouse, and we put the rest of them in our upper greenhouse.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's smart. It means a lot more work, but yeah, you're right. You got to take care of them, which is kind of cool too, because way back when I saw cyclamen someplace else after the freeze, they just looked horrible, and it was like, okay, and that's the other thing too. Just bragging on Millburgers, if it's okay. Millburgers takes care of the plants you're going to buy. So they've been cared for. They're not having just been left out and dried out, and yeah,
we own them.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Some of those
True.
places don't even own their plants.
Good point. All right, so there's that. What else? I tell you what I saw that I liked, and I'm sure we've had it before, and I'm going to be embarrassed if we don't. The lavender tree, the little lavender tree.
We've had lavender before, but I think the tree form we only had a couple Christmases ago.
Okay.
But that came out of Oklahoma.
Dun, 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 dun.
Lavender can take pretty good cold, so guess what? It's going to sit there tomorrow night. We're not even going to bother covering it.
Oh.
But, on the other hand, Tuesday or so, it's going to make its way to a greenhouse.
Okay. But it's pretty with the little flowers, and I didn't smell it. Is it fragrant, too?
My nose, I don't smell good, Milton.
I don't smell good either. People say I smell worse than I used to.
I'm glad you two realize that.
Isn't he great?
He is.
But
now,
we'll have
I'm
to
not
check.
saying anything about Saturday when we've got the. What's the schedule? The temperature for Saturday morning?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't go that many days.
Yeah.
We got a full class scheduled there, and I suppose that David probably has on Monday.
We do have David on Monday.
David will be okay.
So we
sunny and 59.
We already kind of looked at the weather, so we're going to stick with the amphitheater.
Okay. Now, if let's see if I can get a 10-day from a local place, because the government doesn't go past Friday.
We're looking at 13.
But yeah, is it? Are we doing this rain or shine? Move you in the greenhouse if maybe unless it's snowing or something.
Well, if it's very, very cold, but depends on the temperature.
Are you finding?
Surprised me.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Surprised me today. Well, of course they knew we were having it in the building, so we had a full
home?
house and a good audience, and we were able to. The temperature was high enough that we were able to move the potted up tomatoes from the building over to the other building, and the attendees took theirs home. Hopefully they got them they'll have them in the cover for next Tuesday.
Oh, hey, we need our rain rangers to call us. We did get rain this week.
Sort of.
Looking at
I did plant my tomato seeds.
Oh, good. Oh, which ones?
The BHN 968.
Very good.
Dwarf Cherry Surprise. So
did you plant them outside or in little?
They're in pots.
Oh, I have another question for you. We got to take a break, and then are you still going to be?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll see if Trace is up here and can answer my question. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Ooh, the aquifer's up a 0.7. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m., The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Don't forget, if you're looking for delicious meats, if you want to serve your family some great food right this very second, or you're going to look for items for Easter, the place to go is Pruski's Market right there in Atkins, Texas.
Easter already?
It's getting there. It's March, April, I guess April 19th or April 20th, I think.
Oh, that's right. April 19th is the weekend of the Easter when we have one of the classes scheduled.
Oh, there you go. So know that if you want to get that delicious ham, or you're looking for beef, if you're a griller, Pruski's can help you out. And they have fun stuff, too. It's past Valentine's Day, but you could have gotten yourself a big beef heart, which was just a big, like a big cut of sirloin or a big cut of something.
Oh, that was cut in a heart?
It was cut in a heart shape.
Oh, yeah. I think that was a sirloin.
Oh, was it a sirloin? Yeah, it made sense. I couldn't remember. But anyway, Yanta Ranch's beef, which is really good, and it is natural. And it's all there at Pruski's Market in Atkins, Texas. We'll talk to Edmund tomorrow, and I may, if I can find some, I may even bring in a couple little sausages, just saying. So, Pruski's Market, find it online at pruskismeatmarket.com, Highway 87 between 410 and 1604. Guess who's on the line?
Edmund?
No.
Oh.
David Rodriguez.
Oh.
Talking about Monday. David, how are you doing?
Monday.
Very, very, very blessed. Well, Monday's President's Day, and I know a lot of people are off, and this would be a good opportunity. I don't think it's going to really get cold till Tuesday night, and for sure Thursday night.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yep. We got you.
Okay, so Monday should be fine. So 10 a.m., live at Milberger's Landscape Nursery on Boulevard in 1604. We'll be doing a basic fruit tree talk. So this would be a great, great opportunity for people to come by and learn about adding an extra tree to their home orchard or a small-scale family orchard, and just some do's and don'ts that we'll be covering, as well as varieties. So it'll be a fun seminar next Monday, President's Day, or this Monday.
This Monday, 2 days from now.
At 10 a.m., and it's live and it's free, so come on by.
Yeah, and so you want to give us a couple spoilers and talk a little bit about...
Teases,
yeah, we will call them spoilers.
Really, the biggest thing is know the tree, particularly on the size requirements. So spacing is very important. Milberger's does an excellent job, like the other independent nurses, carrying right varieties, as well as a few worth trying, see how they perform for you. And we'll talk about more high input versus earth kind or lower input types of trees, or suggestions like blackberry, figs, persimmon, and other. And then we'll kind of do the do's and the don'ts, spacing, planting, general maintenance, not too much in pruning or training, and then weed management, fertility, nutrition, etc., and entertain any questions that folks might have.
Okay.
My favorite is peaches of Florida King. What do you think of that one, David?
Florida King is probably, and the Texas varieties probably perform a little bit better South Bexar County and South, correct?
I've had great luck with it in my neighborhood,
okay. I've heard a lot of good remarks about it. Yes.
So that's cool. You'll be
La Feliciana. I favor quite a bit, or John Fanick peas, or Red Baron peas, which is both ornamental and edible.
Well,
yeah. Yes, sir?
No, I was just going to say, I know he's going to cover all the good ones. I'm sure on that. What about apples? Can we grow apples here?
I know a lot of the nurseries do sell them, and we'll talk about some of the challenges.
There you go.
Might have, and then rootstock that they should be on, and let them decide. But we have an apple here, but you might be better off with a fig or a pear. So we'll cover, the bottom line. You know how it is, Mark and Calvin.
Yeah, I know. This is the folks out there.
We want people to be successful. But some of these. One of my neighbors had an Einsheimer this year.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of good quality apples on it. So, it's not as reliable and more input, but if they want to try, we'll give them some of the do's and the don'ts.
Well, good. Yeah, it is challenging fruit. For the listeners, Dave and I go way back on the apples and the attempts to create an apple industry in Texas. So, we go way back on it. So it was half in jest, but it is a challenge. And if you really would like to see some apples in your yard, then there are some techniques you need to follow, and David will, of course, talk to you about.
So
the best orchard I've seen in Texas successfully is up in Lubbock with the Lubbock Food Bank.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing what those guys have done with their orchard out there. So there are a few exceptions, but it's location.
Yeah. David, so for the novice fruit grower, someone who's hearing this and said, I've always wanted to do that, what trees do you recommend that are most forgiving in the that'll bear fruit? Maybe pick a couple of them.
Blackberries.
Okay.
Pears. I would say those are low input herb kind types.
See, I always say pears.
He does. Mark always says pears. It doesn't matter what the question is.
What about
if
figs?
If we have time, we'll cover a little bit citrus, but I don't really want to get too deep in this talk on citrus. Normally we schedule that later in the year. But all those are good. Those are worth trying. Peaches are good. You're going to have to spray them more. Extra effort of pruning and training, but we'll let the people decide and give them some of their highs and lows.
Okay.
Calvin asked about figs.
Yeah, Calvin said, what's your feeling on figs?
Oh, figs, I think are excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, they're easy to grow and very productive. Hey, David, you would have been proud. We had a full house on the rodeo tomato class today, and we got
good.
We got a full house scheduled for next Saturday too.
Very nice. So I presume y'all have them for sale there, right?
We'll have them.
Oh yeah,
we're going to give everybody that registers a free potted up tomato, but we'll certainly have a lot of rodeo tomatoes for sale.
Yeah, and I got to check it out, but I think it.
Is that the day we donate the?
Yeah, I have to
funds?
see. I'm going to check.
That's the 22nd. That's what Trace is. Saturday.
Yeah, that's the same day Calvin's doing his.
Yes.
Now Calvin is going to also do karaoke. Will you be doing karaoke as part of your presentation?
Karaoke, is that one of the persimmon varieties?
Yes, it is.
Oh, no.
David was saying that I would be doing it.
So delicious, it'll make you want to sing.
Mark Peterson has a beautiful voice. I've heard him sing before.
Have you? Oh, that's nice.
Not until the ear just went. Yeah, it was okay.
Very good. David, anything else since we got you want to bring up about the Master Gardeners or upcoming children's garden or things like that? I don't think you're doing...
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You can see a lot of things happening on the Bexar County Extension Service website, the Bexar County Master Gardener website. There are a lot of things happening. The 2 children's gardens at the San Antonio Botanical Garden will be starting here real quick. I think next Saturday. Mike Brown with the grass is greener landscape, went in there and redid all the beds. So they're doing a big, nice face that they should be finished this week. And then Phil Harbor starts soon after on Tuesdays for like the homeschool kids. So a lot of great things are happening, you know. And it's good. We just need to pray for a little bit more rain. Hopefully this week's not too super cold, which I think it is going to be. And keep going forward, having fun, learning, and getting the kids involved.
Very cool. Well, David, thank you. And we'll see you 2 days from now. Don't forget, it's not next Monday. It's this Monday.
Mark Peterson sings during the break, okay?
All right.
Oh, please not.
Bye, Calvin.
What kind of stuff does Mark sing? Do you remember?
Bye-bye.
Yes. Ave Maria.
During the break,
Wow.
okay?
All right, Calvin's now. Thank you, man. All right. 210-308-8867. Thanks, David. Again, for more information on David's presentation Monday, free. And David does a good thing, too, as part of it. You know, sometimes when the lecture's over or the class is over, the teacher, the presenter just leaves. David stays there, answers questions. So, So bring lots of questions. Even if it's not about fruit, he'll help you out. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. So do you know anything about the wheatgrass? Do you think that would make it...
Just wheat?
I guess. I don't know.
It's a little spiky thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? A little,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's ferocious.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't chew my cud, so I'm not attracted to the wheatgrass.
Okay. But I thought it would fill in some empty spaces in the yard.
In your mouth or what?
No, in the yard.
Well, you'll be...
Well, you know, it's called, this time of year, it's called rescue grass.
Oh, is that rescue grass? Is wheatgrass and rescue the same?
Yeah.
Is that our rescue?
No. Well, you said fill in the grass. Well, we already have something growing out there. We don't need anything extra.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Right now, we're growing it on the windowsill, and going to see where it takes us.
I'm not familiar with it totally, but it looks like a little spiky ryegrass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but short and stout. Here's my handle. Here's my
phone.
Gosh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Short and stout.
Stout. Yeah, it was me.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. Never mind. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. And Calvin, before we go to break, what kind of questions did you get from folks at the class today? And
oh gosh, the weather, protecting the rodeo tomato was a big part of it. In the past, you know, when we had the class, the fear was abstract. This one was real. You know, the temperatures are going to get down; they're pretty low, and it isn't subtle about the 40 degrees when it's down there at 23 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to do all the tomatoes in if you're not protected. So that was the big question. And then we had a big talk about the manufactured fertilizers versus organic fertilizers. And it was a number of the people in the audience were organic gardeners, and so we talked about how best to utilize organic fertilizers and still get a nitrogen return that was fast enough to affect the tomatoes. Kind of concluded that our tomatoes is it's tough because they're such a short season plant, and if you potting them up, it's even more difficult.
You think they may have to, if they are organic growers, that they may have to do more prior to the actual planting?
Absolutely.
If they do it in a bed.
Yeah. Pre-planting, and then, of course, we reviewed the cost of Osmocote and how it compared to some of the organic fertilizers. But no, it was a very interesting discussion.
Cool.
And
Good.
And they were interested in the Oscar okra and the potatoes from Milberger, the seed potatoes from Milberger's. And also I couldn't resist bringing up the milkweeds and monarchs.
Oh, okay, yeah, good.
Yeah.
And
about the four classes scheduled in March.
Yeah, March is going to be here pretty soon. So when are those classes, and how do they sign up?
The first class is here at Milberger's on the 15th of March. It's at 10 o'clock, and they call the number here at Milberger's to sign up. Do you remember what that is, Milton?
For what?
Number here at Milberger's.
It's 210-497-3760.
Okay. And then the second class is on the 22nd of March, and it's at the Dream Hill Estates Education Resource Center. And that one is 210-382-4455. And, of course, attendees there will get 2 seated containers for milkweed, and if they're willing to monitor the germination and the transplanting success.
All right, and that is there a number for that, or
I already gave it 210-382-4455.
4455. All right. Let me I'll just copy and paste the number back to Al. All right.
Because he maybe has a hole in the ear the same way,
yeah.
Mark, you do.
I don't know.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 M Boulevardy Road. And by the way, Al will have that number in just a second, so you can give him a call if you need any of those numbers. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Are people calling your phone for the Milberger's event? Calvin? Calvin?
I'm sorry.
Are people calling your phone for the Milberger's event?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're calling for all 4 of the events.
Oh, for the milkweed. Good deal. Good deal. What, the pig flying?
Yeah, all of a sudden, you and I go, it suddenly got cold in here all of a sudden.
Oh, the flag, yeah.
So the flag is pointed directly to the porch. Cold. And, well, you have gloves. You're the only smart person here, Minnesotan. So, all of a sudden, we got...
what?
We all of a sudden got cold.
Well, let's see what the weather is, what the temperature is currently. Do you have it on your phone? I'll see what the National Weather Service says. It's a light drizzle. It was. Hello, McFly, come on.
Yeah, right at us.
Oh, still 56.
Okay.
So, is a dew point on this? Does that mean what it feels like?
No.
The
dew point is the temperature where moisture will.
Oh, the dew point is 54. Okay, so
we're right at possibly precipitation.
Cool. All right. What else is going on in the gardening world? It's going to be tough for people.
We have a question.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask this while David was on, then I forgot because we were talking about so many interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
So David's morning show on that other station.
Right.
He was talking about, a gentleman called in about, is it too late to grow potatoes?
Hmm.
And I'm driving the car listening to David. I'm like, no, it's not too late. David goes, well, I would wait another week. What are you talking about, David? But then he said something interesting. The homer asked, it says, should I put something on the cut potatoes? And David said, oh, you can use colloidal phosphate or or ashes from the fireplace. Have you ever heard that? After you make the cuts in the potatoes, I would agree you would callus them for just a bit. Yeah.
So
3 or 4
how long
days.
do you think this?
3 or 4 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then just put them in.
Yeah.
So what do you? I mean, have you ever heard that
quite
before?
often I don't do any of it, but or 2 days at the most.
Yeah.
And no, I have. I've heard that before about the ashes, and then I think there's some chemicals that folks have used.
Yeah.
But
I think in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
I remember it. But.
They're they germinate so reliably, and I never think that you have to do an elaborate process to protect them.
I had one, yeah. So when I heard him, I would go, well, I'm going to ask Calvin. I'm going to ask Calvin on the air if he remembers that vaguely. I remember that vaguely, way back when. But, yeah, you're right. They produce on such a consistent basis that we wouldn't even bother with that.
Now, if there was any kind of research that indicated that you got more production, but I don't know. They're good, very productive too. Potatoes are. They're easy to grow.
Shall I stand in the background tomorrow? On that note, shall I stand in the background tomorrow? And go, is there any truth to the fact that you have to have 2 trees to get better production? Calvin just, he looks at me and goes, what's the research on that? What's the data on that? I'd like to see some data on that. I'm like, because I've heard that, but it is a wives' tale, or it could be true, or I don't know.
Sounds like something that a manager of a nursery would say.
Yeah. Yes, it could very well be.
But
anyway,
now some fruit trees, species of fruit trees, of course, you do.
Which ones?
Varieties,
but,
you do.
Yeah, but the one is like Anna and Einsheimer.
Apples.
They're flowering at the same time. You wouldn't get an Anna and a totally different species. I don't know what, maybe a Macintosh or something like that. They would bloom at entirely different times, and it wouldn't benefit you at all to get cross-pollination.
So
better pollination.
Which ones do you need a second one? What are some of the ones that you do need a second one to?
I think it's what originally was the question was for stone fruit. So peaches, plums.
Well, I don't know that that's the case. I can't remember but I thought for apples they used to say that.
Maybe that's where I got it, because that's where I grew up, in apple-producing country, and maybe that's somehow that got it into my DNA that I would say that.
That's an interesting thing. We should pursue that, I guess, because it's. But peaches, I've never heard that.
All right.
Pears. I haven't heard that on pears, but it'd be worth it to pursue it and find out. Look at a good resource book, or look at some other research. I don't think it's a topic that folks have been pursuing recently.
Oh, okay. I know we get that question a lot, and I know generally the answer is no, so I was trying to think of, so which ones should you have, a male and a female, I guess? Is that the deal?
Well,
no.
Oh. Yeah. So why do you buy 2?
Well, because of different genetics. Yeah. You want the DNA, you want the genetics mixed.
So these are generally our rose family, which means they have perfect flowers, which means they have both male and female in the same flower. So theoretically, they could usually they fertilize themselves. But it's always good to have other pollen to create a stronger fruit, if you will, stronger reproduction.
All right.
So it's always thing. But as my always as my Jewish grandmother would say, it couldn't hurt.
What?
It couldn't hurt to have two.
Okay. 210-308-8867. Uh-oh, Greg's on the line. Got a question about peach trees and freeze protection. Greg, welcome to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas. What's happening? What you got?
Oh, good morning or afternoon, I guess now, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's good afternoon.
Yeah. Well, so I'm up here in North Texas.
Hey.
Yes, sir. And we're going to get a lot colder than y'all are. I think they're predicting a couple of mornings in the teens.
Eek.
And I thought we were done with it, but we're not. So I've got 2 peach trees, and they're not budding yet, but the buds are quickly developing. So like if we were going to have really nice warm weather all week, I would suspect I'd start to see those little pink blooms by next weekend. So my question is, should I try to cover these with a frost cloth this week, or is it going to matter at this point?
I probably wouldn't cover them, but you may be close to the point, because in my peach orchard I had periods where that depending on how close they were to bloom, if they weren't close to bloom, they weren't damaged a bit. If they had started to bloom, they would be damaged. The good news is that if they're healthy trees, they're going to have lots of blooms, and they're going to have blooms that are different stage of readiness. So I suspect with a 19 degree that you may get some reduction, but it's probably not any more than you would have if you were thinning them.
Yeah, 19 would be great. They're expecting a low around 15 Wednesday night, 22 Thursday night.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, I would be worried at 19 if they're saying like 14 and 15
for
2 consecutive nights. So, okay, well, I've got one of
What do you think, Mark?
The only thing I was going to ask you, Greg, is what has the winter been like? Has it been really roller coaster, or has it been somewhat stable? Roller coaster?
It's been roller coaster. We had, it was pretty mild and warm, I'd say, up till New Year's Eve. And then I was in mid-January, we kind of got a few 20-degree days. And it was just cold, and then it warmed up. Last week up here, we had a couple of days where it was 80 degrees. And now we're kind of back down. But really for the last 10 days, it's just been in the 50s every day, so it's...
How old's the tree?
One of them is about 7 years old now, and it's a prolific producer. It's a Sam Houston. And the other one I planted 2 years ago, so it's still small, but I'm expecting this year to be kind of its first crop. So that's the one I'm really more concerned about.
It's not easy covering a tree like a peach tree.
Right.
No.
Did you just say that your prolific one was a Sam Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, bless you, my son. Now, you have really a good green thumb. Sam Houstons down here are known to be very, very florific, but not very much in production. So if you're getting good production, you're doing something right on the Sam Houston.
Yeah, it's done really well. I mean, each year I have to force myself to thin it, just to keep get a little bit bigger size. But the fruit is Oh man, it is light. You don't even have to put sugar.
Well, you're doing very well. Very well. Well, I'm like Calvin. I wouldn't worry too much about it, particularly the age of the tree. It sounds good.
All right. Greg, thank you, man. We got to run to a break, okay?
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know, Greg, how it turns out.
Stay warm.
Yeah, we'll do. Y'all take care.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. I'm Milton Glueck. And back in a moment, 210-308-8867. This is 9:30 a.m., The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m., The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Got a gardening question? Got something you want to talk about? 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Even during the break, the big topic was the weather and protecting pipes.
Yeah, I got to be dripping.
You're going to be dripping?
The faucets.
Okay.
Trying to find the foam tops to the spigots.
Yeah.
The hose bibs.
And finding a alternative spigot protection for those that did not work last time.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you have
Except my plumber did give me a. This is how you should have done it.
Oh. Okay.
The problem is it's a pretty elaborate process.
So. How is he having you do it?
Well, I've got those cushion things that Mark was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
But he says the problem with that on the spigot the spigots that I had a problem with was that the backs were not appropriately protected.
Yeah.
And so he suggested wrap it with a dry, substantial towel, and then cover it with a plastic bag.
Oh.
And then because that can go down the towel and everything, but keep that towel dry.
Okay.
And then the plastic bag will cover the towel provides the insulation. The plastic bag will keep it from getting wet.
But I'm under commandment by the landlord to drip my faucets.
Well,
so how does that keeping it dry work? Is that in lieu of?
Well, I drip some of them. The ones down at I've got a lot of spigots, but I drip some down. But
I tried to
not
throw this one away.
I'd have to. The sauce would come and carry me away to the prison if I dripped them all.
It's like, weren't you part of the conservation department? That's where the eyes are rolling. I'm like, well, the feet are shuffling. Well, yes, I was.
Now, are you dripping inside or outside or
both?
Okay. What did you say about dripping inside?
The landlord, which I'm happy to oblige, the landlord requests us to.
That you do both.
Both.
Okay.
I don't.
You don't drip inside?
I didn't drip inside. I just dripped on two downhill spigots.
But so placement of where the spigot is very important.
Yeah. I've wondered about that. You can't. How do you drip if you're? Yeah, I think that's kind of what you asked. If you cover it up.
So that's why I use the foam. But Calvin's exactly right. I look at it and going, well, I pull the little tab. Well, it's filling up with water. It's got to escape out of the back end.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's not doing anything. Well, maybe if I turn it to, it's a square, so if I turn it a little bit on the edge there. Well, maybe that's right, but still not pressed up against the wall, providing protection, so cold air will seep in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess you could wrap something around the back of it.
Well, the individual spigots, these ones coming from the wall stick out about 4 inches, and those are wrapped with insulation.
Okay.
So I hope for the best.
Yeah. All right. Very interesting. And pets, get the pets inside.
The 3 Ps, exactly. How did you know I was going to say that?
Yeah, I just knew it.
That's because of the many press releases released by conservation.
Pets, plants, and pipes.
And pipes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have it especially tough because you've got partly pier and beam as compared to someone who has the solid cement?
Then when you have a house that was built, various parts were built with 60 years in between.
Yeah.
You know, that is
that's
complication.
Calvin's house is very interesting because of that. Because there's multiple building techniques used.
Yeah.
Mine's a pier and beam.
No, yours is pier and beam?
Pier and beam, 1920.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Yeah. That's what ours used to be. And then, yeah, I mean, so yes, you do have to be more careful because those pipes are kind of, they're right by the ground.
Yeah.
I guess it makes it easier if there is a pipe break for it to be fixed, huh? Because they just got to crawl under the house and do it, or no?
That isn't easy.
At this point in time, I'm not going to make any statement about the size of most plumbers. So,
ooh, man, plumbers, send your emails directly to Mark Peterson at. All right, Michigan Bert, I think, is online.
On the line. Well, yeah, he's already at 15. So.
Yeah, what's the temperature there, Bert?
Oh, right now it's 28, I believe.
28.
Snowy.
Oh, yeah. Wow. What's the low going to be this week?
Well, there might be 10 or 7 or so.
Okay, that's fine.
We have the same dip as you, just a little first.
Yeah.
Just keep it up there. Yeah.
Well, what's going on, Bert?
Yep.
Besides the fact that your hockey team beat my hockey team.
Oh.
Now, which one?
College, Michigan versus Minnesota.
Yeah, but one of the 2 great hockey teams in the state of Michigan beat yours. Was it Michigan State or was it U of M?
Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan State is further down the rating from, I think Michigan is number 1. No, Boston. Michigan is might be number 3 or number 2.
Say there's a couple.
Okay. Focus, Bert. Bert, help us get back on track, will you?
But anyway, I'm calling to support Mark a little bit because
Yay, all right.
About apple trees being self-pollinating or not. Do you need another variety? And I printed something off from the Michigan State University and Wisconsin State, and that those are reliable sources. And it says
yes, they are.
Apple tree. Yeah, of course. Some apple tree varieties are partially self-pollinating, but they'll produce better with a pollinator. So and that's what I always heard. And when you brought it up a couple of weeks ago, I thought, wow, yeah, that's true. So I looked it up. And there are apple trees that are self-pollinating, but they're not very good at it. There are others that are triploid, whatever that means, 3 sets of chromosomes, but like Honeycrisp, and they need 2 varieties of a different kind to pollinate them. And there are others that are somewhere in between. So I think there's truth to that. That's what my dad told me. Oh, you always have to have 2. But he didn't say one of this and one of this. Of course, they have to have overlapping flowering or blossom times.
Well, I know we used to be more comfortable with that claim that you needed pollinator for a lot of varieties.
Yeah, I think Bert explained it quite well. It's they're perfect flowers, but they're not perfect at self-fertilization, so you need another one for stronger production. So that's interesting. I didn't know these newer varieties like the Honeycrisp are would you say diploid? That so
or haploid
or triploid. Haploid, diploid, triploid, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like something that the president and his staff would interfere with.
Oh, yeah. Can't have that.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah. While you were mentioning Michigan State, I opened up my vests here that I had, so I have a Michigan State vest.
Yeah, proudly displaying the green and white.
Green and white.
Okay.
Victory for
Very
MSU.
cool, Bert. What else is happening? What do you do when this gets this cold?
Oh.
I guess you're not out in the garden, huh?
No. No, I'll wait. Oh, you do it all in vain. Oh, yeah. Maybe about tomatoes. If you guys or somebody has tomatoes outside, they can put them inside for the cold coming. They can just take the suckers out, or the top if you like, and then you put those in the house in potting soil or whatever you have, and they will easily root and you have a new plant. It's not as big as the original, but you don't have to go to the store and get new ones. And they root very easily, the suckers.
Okay. Cool.
But maybe it helps somebody.
Yeah.
So it's an indeterminate.
Yeah, it's kind of
so
that's
yeah.
Yeah.
For yours, those up there.
Yeah.
Varieties up there.
Determinate might work too.
Yeah.
Well,
it would work. It's just. Yeah.
Thank you, Bert.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I could help somewhat.
Yeah, good.
Stay warm.
Stay warm.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, 210-308. We had sun for 2 seconds here. 210-308-8860.
Don't scare it away.
Well, maybe it's coming back. It's something's happening. Oop, it's getting bright. Can you feel it, Mark?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Calvin, what else is going on in the gardening world? What'd you write about today?
I wrote about sending your pre-emergent out there to stop the sandburrs and the crabgrass. And both Mark and I had the same reaction. It's kind of hard to think about sandburrs because it's usually hot and dry, and this kind of weather just is not in tune with preparing that way. But it's certainly important. The timing is right. We don't want to miss it.
Historically, we've always said get the pre-emergent out around Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And both Calvin and I went, oh, crap.
Yep.
It's Valentine's Day. It's time to get the pre-emergent out. So I'm so glad he wrote about it in an article because, we need to do that. And then if the weather is hopefully rainy, we need to do it again.
Okay. Oh, okay. So do I just go and look for pre-emergent in the store, or is it special?
Excellent question, sir.
Thank you.
Well, if you have sandbird problems, but if you don't have sandbird problems, you don't have to spray a pre-emergent.
Okay.
Now, the thing about sandbirds it's not an easy process to get them under control. You spray it or apply it, basically. They're granules, and then again, as March mentioned, I always recommend you apply another about June 15th. You apply and make another application if you got sandburrs. Crabgrass it doesn't seem to bother most of us as much, but this last year crabgrass was quite a deal with those big islands of grass, and at first it looks like Bermuda grass, but then it puts out its seed heads and kind of looks like a big tower or something there. But both they mow sandburrs. You can treat them after they've showed up, but it's much tougher. And of course, by then you've got your pets full of sandburrs and your jeans full of sandburrs.
When we get Trace back up here, we'll see what we have available. But Calvin mentioned Crew and Dimension for grassburrs. That's
okay.
Those are the recommended pre-emergence. I'm sure that we have both of those.
Yeah,
here.
we had both plus Barricade.
Plus Barricade. Now, Barricade is more of the leafy one. Broadleaf. Oh, no, Barricade's grassy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gallery is the one I forgot.
Okay. And so we've got those in place. They all three work. We lost access to the one that I used to use all the time on the on that condo on the coast.
Yeah. It's XL or I can't remember.
I can't remember either. XL.
XL was
I'm amazed you
commercial.
remembered that.
Yeah.
XL. Yeah. Oh gosh, I can almost see it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them were very effective.
We lost them because the plant that made them, the primary source from was in China, and it burned. The plant burned down. So.
Yeah, even if they were still available, we might have to pay such a huge tariff on them.
210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. The number to call to be a part of the show. So the whole article was pre-emergence, or was there something else in it?
No,
it's
pre-emergent.
Okay.
And then and then we talk about the classes.
Yeah. Okay. You want to go over those real quick before we go to break?
The Monarch and the Milkweed classes.
Mm-hmm.
We list those. And what do we talk about, Mark, in the individual issues, the tasks?
On the what to do in the gardening this week, we talked about it's not too late to plant sweet peas, which is true. It's not too late to plant broccoli or Swiss chard or any other leafy vegetables we have. Tomato classes you talked about. Compost. February is always a good time to compost and aerate.
Yeah, I didn't know. It was interesting. Trace was talking about. Maybe we'll talk about it again. The different qualities of compost, like ranging from cow manure to a higher.
So yeah, and I always use. And I think you may have called me down on it, but I use high-quality compost.
Right.
Yeah, so what constitutes high-quality compost? Well, it is, my definition for high-quality compost is a combination of manures and vegetative. So some leaf and maybe twigs and chopped up wood chips plus manures that have been composted over a long period of time so that all the odor is gone. And then it has been double screened to get all the big chunks out so it looks pretty much like soil. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I like bagged. Calvin always recommends bulk materials. So either way is good. But when I talk about high-quality compost, I'm talking about a product that contains both vegetative and manures.
Okay.
The other issue we talked about in this article was is there the sodding? Is it too early to sod?
Yeah.
Or how about planting Bermuda seed? And it's too early to plant Bermuda seed.
That is correct.
We generally do that about May 1st.
When it's hot.
And sod, though, we've gotten to the point where we don't hesitate to put sod down as long as we get it from a reliable source, because it can even be dormant and still be successful if we roll it and can get access to shallow water.
Shallow soil?
Water twice a day, not very deep.
Oh, okay.
Now The other issue, you want to review your drought restriction situation, and Mark brought this to our attention when we had this discussion a few weeks ago, that if you're in a new construction, you can get a permit to have some more flexibility, 3 weeks or so for a new lawn. But if it's an old lawn, you're repairing or just putting new pieces of sod in, you have to stick to the restrictions and rely on hand watering.
Okay.
So yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
As we go into a new year, frankly, a fourth or fifth year of a drought. Each year that we go further into the drought, the enforcement will be ramped up.
Oh, okay.
Just a word to the wise is sufficient.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. So you wise people, come back in a moment at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. We're live here where the sun's come out at Millburgers. Yeah. We love the sun. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867 with your gardening questions. Had a couple good ones today, so we encourage you to call in. Do I have to protect my strawberries? I know they're on sale from the cold.
I doubt it. Certainly not tomorrow night.
Right, but when it gets in the 20s, maybe, or no?
I think the blooms and fruit that are on it are going to get burned off, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's in a little hanging basket, so I can move it in.
Well, that's different. So if it's in a pot, you might as well just pick it up and move it in.
Okay, cool.
And you don't have to take a chance.
And then they're on sale, by the way, in the 4-inch pot here, 4 for $10. We got red buds on. Well, they're not on. They're for sale, but there's a wide variety of those too.
There is, and we actually got some more in on what day is today? Either Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
Are they boomy?
No, but we had I think that ad says starting at $99.
Yes, sir.
Now it's going to read starting at $49.99.
Wow.
So we got a really good deal on some. It looks like 3-gallon. And they are $49.99.
Oh, good. Okay. That's terrific. Lady Banks Rose on sale.
Got it.
Yep, 2 for $45. Antique Roses
They're here.
on sale, 2 for $45 in the number 2 pot.
My article next week is on the tough modern and old-fashioned roses.
Good deal. Which one are you going to cover?
All of them.
Okay.
All the same ones.
The ones we talk about? Yeah. Texas Mountain Laurel, number 5 pot.
It's here.
$38.88 on sale, regularly $49.99. Figs. Calvin was talking about figs before, starting at $39.99.
I notice you have both Celeste and Alma.
We also have a bunch of varieties that I talked to David about in those smaller pots by the entrance of the greenhouse.
Okay. I have to look
Some
at those.
varieties that we've never stocked before.
Oh, really?
And no, I can't remember the names. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll look and make sure we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Did you get to peek under the blankets of the veggies? And
yes. And
Okay.
so we have lovely transplants that I mentioned earlier about broccoli and Swiss chard and cauliflower and all the lettuces and some spinach.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to talk about, and you just mentioned it, strawberries. We have a whole table of strawberries, rearing and ready to go to be transplanted.
So, Milton, I know it's an illusion from here. It looks like all the tables are covered.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Okay.
They're halfway covered.
Yeah.
So from the other side, you can easily see what's there and shop it.
Yeah.
No, that's true. So
peeking
really,
was a relative term. It was really easy for me. I just walked
Yeah.
to the other side and saw what was underneath. And we have a lot of bluebonnets. Did you mention bluebonnets already?
No, we didn't, but we mentioned in the ad.
We have lots of blue bottles.
Yeah, I saw a couple people get some today.
Transplants.
And I guess it's not too late.
No.
To enjoy them, yeah. And Crawford reseeding lettuce, did you mention that?
Yes, it's underneath there. Maybe a couple flats left. I'll have to check during the next break.
Now, I heard from David that they started sharing the Crawford reseeding lettuce with some other nurseries. Yeah. But I'll try my best this week to buy everything that's left so nobody else gets any.
That David. What is he thinking? Yeah, the ones that were not sat on by the cats look really nice.
That's good.
Yeah. It's funny what a difference that can make.
Right.
And let's see. Herbs and stuff. Did you mention all? Did you get to pick
herbs. We have lots of herbs. We have dill out there. We have fennel, dill, and parsley.
Okay.
So just saying.
Basil's in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
I think there's thyme on the racks inside the main building.
Yeah, we had some last week when it was sunny, so I was hoping you moved it.
Do you still have that begonia that you were bragging on last week?
I'm trying to remember which one we talked about. Rigers? Yeah,
Rigers.
We try to have those almost all the time.
Oh, okay. And again, I'm so sorry. Where are they? They're like right over there?
So their normal place to sit is in the greenhouse.
Oh.
But we decided when the weather is conducive, we're going to put a few right there at the entrance to the main building.
Okay. And that woman got a beautiful geranium. And what else does she have in there?
That's a begonia.
Yeah, I was wondering, is that a hanging basket begonia?
It is.
Oh, that's nice.
And she's got some foxtail fern.
That's on sale, isn't it?
That's on sale.
I can't see what size she has.
Okay.
And I can't tell what the other thing is from here. I think Turk's cap or rock.
But to me, it is geranium season.
Yeah.
So they are protected. But this coming up that was one of my dad's favorite flowers.
Yeah, I like geraniums too.
Well, 31, we wouldn't normally do anything, but for the future, for the 22, we're going to put them in the greenhouse.
Oh, okay. For the geraniums?
Correct.
Okay, let's see. We talked about the figs. LSU purple. I know we've talked about that a lot, but that's kind of a cool fig. What's the one that people like? Is it Celeste or is it the brown turkey?
Celeste is the best tasting.
Okay. And is there one brown turkey?
There is a brown turkey. It also has another name.
Texas Everbearing.
Is that the other name? Okay. And that's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Do we have that?
Yeah.
Good. That's what I figured.
Yeah, we have the big three. That's what I call the big three for figs.
And other varieties. There's one over there with honey in the name. I can't wait to try that one.
Oh, yeah,
it's got to be
good.
sweet.
So these are some of the ones, these other varieties that you and David had talked about, and they're located right by the greenhouse, right?
They're at the entrance of the greenhouse in those tall, skinny pots.
Okay. Fruit trees.
Got them.
Number 5 pot. Normally $49.99. Now on sale 2 for $80. And so after you listen to David, you can, save money still on the fruit trees.
Almost like we planned it, isn't it?
Isn't that funny how that worked out? And stepping stones. The stepping stones are back. That was a good deal. My stepping stones still are doing great.
You don't have to worry about cold at all with those milk or watering them.
Yeah, you should have told me I had to bring them in.
Just
to be cruel.
Just to say you're not my stepping stone.
Thank you, Mark. So don't bring in the stepping stones?
No.
Okay.
But I'll make an exception
blackberries.
for you.
David was talking about blackberries.
That was the first thing out of his mouth.
Yeah, it was
and
blackberries.
Calvin's as well. So I thought that was interesting that both David and Calvin's, when we talked about fruit, that was the first thing.
When do the blackberries produce fruit? When will you harvest them? June? Oh, wow. Okay.
But
so with the ones you get this year, will they bear fruit?
They could.
Okay. I just didn't know.
No, they could.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they will.
Okay.
Next year will be the big
Next year will be a big year?
If they trim it right.
Okay.
How will they know how to trim it right?
Yes.
That should be your question. Come visit David on Monday.
That's right. Nice.
Lovely. Excellent. Sir.
Nice job. Good segue. Yep. And I was bragging on David that saying that he will stay after the class and answer other questions, even if it's not about fruit. Are you going to have them surrounded by fruit trees?
We're going to have a handful of them down there.
Okay, just curious. All right, so, yep, that's coming up. All this, by the way, is at millburgernursery.com. That's millburgernursery.com. And you can check it out there and learn more about all the things on sale, all the events. Calvin's events are on there. And so, yep, lots of stuff coming up. Lots of good events here at Millburgers. And what else? Is anything else you're excited about that's coming up or just coming in?
Yeah. So what's coming in after the freeze?
Well, that's when we'll start, assuming this is the last one, that's when we'll start looking at some of the stuff that doesn't take cold as well. But the last thing we need to be doing is bringing in stuff that we have to put away and bring back out, and put away and bring back out.
Yeah. That was the caveat. That was the reason why my caveat after Wednesday.
So we'll keep looking for this stuff that's hardy and bringing that in abundance. And we'll probably start bringing in some tropically stuff in very, very small numbers later in the month.
Okay, and the tropicals would be like the bougainvillea, hibiscus, things like that?
There's bougainvillea and hibiscus. I think it's the first week of March. Maybe might be the second.
Okay, it's not too far off.
Coming out of Florida.
Okay. What other tropicals will we get in? I'm trying to think of the other tropicals.
Mandevilla.
Oh, yeah. You had pretty mandevillas last year. I'm sure you'll have pretty mandevillas this year, too. But the trees, the ones, do I remember those right?
They were some little short trees on wire. They made them look like trees.
Oh, okay. So all that's coming in. You'll know more tomorrow. Again, we can get an update.
No, I'm not bringing anything to next week.
Oh, yeah. Very smart.
Not one single plant.
Yeah.
Now, I might have a booking sew up, but we're not bringing one single plant next week.
Okay. All right.
But we have plenty, though.
Okay. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. The number to call with your gardening questions. And, yep, we're happy to answer them for you. So if you were hand watering, knowing what's coming up, would this be a good day to hand water?
Excellent day.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Muy bueno.
Yes. You agree? Okay. And why is that?
If they're thirsty, if it's time to water them, you water them.
I was bringing up the freeze part.
No, that's not.
No, that doesn't matter.
So if you're going to water, yes, if you're going to maintain the health of the plants.
Okay.
Today would be an excellent day of water so that the water could be absorbed over the next couple of days prior to the freeze. It doesn't do any good watering 12 hours ahead of time.
So if it's freezing, I should not. Freezing on my watering day, I should not be out there watering?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. Trace, you have an opinion?
No.
Okay. You have no opinion, or no, I should not be watering?
No, you shouldn't be watering.
Okay, thank you. All right. Let's see. We got the lantana. I'm just looking at everything that's out there. Our shrimp plant kind of took it on the chin during the last thing. I imagine this will knock it out. Was there enough warm weather that things that got kind of hit by the last freeze tried to come back?
I've got some pomegranates that are fully leafed out.
Since the last freeze? Yeah. And is that going to hurt them to have another freeze? Oh, okay.
But it's good. We had a lot of plants that normally would have been dropped their foliage that held their foliage and even blooms and everything for a long, long time. Lantanas were among those. So that's part of that that process where that's kind of the spray putting out herbicides for pre-emergent herbicides kind of snuck up on us because it just didn't. The weather just didn't seem like it was time.
Yeah. It was weird. Well, so now's the time?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, now's the time. We're going to take a quick break. 210-308-8867. Give us a call. Come on by Millburgers. Now it's a bright, sunny day. The wind has died down a little bit. It's very present here at 1604 on Boulevardy Road. Milton Glueck along with Dr. Calvin Finch. Back in a moment on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Calvin, while we got a second, talk a little bit again. You did the class today. It sounded like it turned out real well, and there's a class coming up next Saturday.
That's right. We had basically a full class over there at the Dream Hill Estates Education Resource Center, and talked about rodeo tomatoes. And then next Saturday, we'll be here at Milberger's at 10 a.m. We'll be having another class, and we have a full list. All the slots are filled, but you're welcome to come if you're willing to attend the lecture. And we probably don't. We can't promise that there will be a rodeo tomato available because of the sign up is so high. But that's next Saturday at 10 o'clock. And then, of course, you can go to the website with Milberger's website, and then the 4 classes on monarchs and milkweeds through March and April are listed, and there's class on the 15th of March here at Milberger's. 22nd of March is one at the Dream Hill Estates Education Resource Center, and then the Comal County Master Gardeners. There's one on April 5th. And then again on April 19th, there's one at the Sinkin
Eco Central.
Eco Central.
And what is that?
Co-sponsored by the Master Gardeners of San Antonio.
And where is the Sinkin Eco Center?
It's
what is
Main and Locust.
We're near Sac, right?
It's near Sac, right across the street from Sac.
Okay. Well,
and we've already have enrollees for all 4 sites.
Okay.
But we got lots of room, so go to the website at Milberger's, and you can see the phone number to call to reserve a spot, and then put it on your calendar.
Are there other butterflies butterflying around? I don't see any today, but is there any activity out there?
Well, there is. Yeah, it doesn't take. If we get one warm day, we should see some butterflies. Of course, with Mark was talking about the herbs that are available here.
Yeah, right. I was wondering if you picked up on that.
The dill?
Yeah, the black swallowtails.
Yeah.
For the
dill,
fennel, and parsley. And
we have all 3.
Dill.
We have the fennel, parsley, and dill. And what's another? Maybe rue. I don't know. But anyway, they're all food plants for the black swallowtail.
Are the black swallowtails, do they migrate, or are they always here?
Oh, they're here.
Okay. So they're here all year?
They may migrate.
Yeah, migrate
for
around.
Short distances.
Air quotes, migrate. Giant swallowtails, they're around here. Tiger.
Tiger sago swallowtails.
And do they like the dill and all the...
No, they like other stuff.
What do they like?
They like the shade trees around the edge of...
Yeah. So the...
You know what else has showed up now? Is our... the birds that fly in mass and feed on the holly berries and...
the cedar waxwings?
Cedar waxwings and mockingbirds.
Oh, wow.
The cedar waxwings.
But cedar waxwings are the ones that feed on a lot of the berries.
And they came sweeping down, flocking to my bird baths to get a drink. And then they'll find, they quite often find your car to poop on, too. So.
Yeah. So I parked my car unfortunately under a row of anaquas, china berries, and hackberries.
Oh, man. Could you find it? After
well, no, it's like, oh, I like this. This
Well,
one
all
has
you
shade
need
in the afternoon, and I'm like,
all you need is some ligustrum there.
yeah.
Because they love the ligustrum.
Oh, is that right?
There's a wax leaf ligustrum, not as big as the Japanese, but that's a few hundred feet away, so they come over. So yes, I have found those, or they have found my vehicle.
Yeah. But small price to pay for
a shade.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what is the price? Poop on the car? Or
Yeah.
Fertilizer, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like I come out frequently with a paper towel.
Oh, and wipe the-
Windex.
Yeah, you just got that car. That probably breaks your heart. And,
Yeah, it's a brand new car.
yeah. Alrighty, 210-308-8867. What else
It's
is
now
going on?
camouflaged with
Yeah.
the cedar waxwing cover.
In the gardening world, what else is happening, gentlemen?
Oh, we mentioned the compost and the
Yeah.
aeration. This is an excellent time. Calvin mentioned in his article, talked a little bit about compost and lawn dressing, which
Okay.
essentially is compost with some sand in it. We don't like a whole lot of sand.
What are we saying about the difference between the two? Same.
Well,
you should use one or the
I say
other.
why? If you have a choice between pure compost or top dressing, which is just compost and sand, I would pick the compost because you get the organic material and all those advantages in terms of water circulation and nutrient retention. And with the sand, you get, if you're trying to fill some gaps or slopes or I guess there would be some advantage. But
low places or spaces in between the sod, that's often that was done. And so second year, the sod was not laid properly, it's not sticking. We'll fill some gaps in between.
But of course, always the key on that sod application we talked about was rolling that sod.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if it's sod is dormant, roll it. That's a key activity if you're going to have success with your new sod. And I think Mark agrees that generally, I think I'd recommend if they got access to the water and you would like to resod, to go ahead and do it if they got a good source.
Yeah, I was listening to David on another station this morning, and that was the thing. The question had come up, what about sod? And I'm like, yeah, you can do it if you get high quality sod, but the key things is rolling and watering appropriately.
Soil prep.
Sorry?
Soil prep.
Soil prep.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Better way of saying it, soil prep. Raking, getting the stones away, leveling all out, and then laying the sod appropriately.
Do we have, what sod do we have?
Raleigh and Pro Vista.
Oh, we do have the Pro Vista. Okay.
We started a Pro Vista Friday thing.
What?
To see we don't do it every week. We try to, but
Okay.
Weather permitting, we're going to shoot for Pro Vista Fridays.
Is that like, so you can buy it by the...
Correct.
Oh, by the square.
Yep.
Cool. That's great. Do you remember off the top of your head how much each square is of the Pro Vista?
Nope.
Okay, they'll have to come in and find out. And
It's on our website.
What's so special about the Pro Vista?
Actually, no, I take that back. It's probably not.
Yeah, I don't know if it is anymore. What's so special about the Pro Vista?
What's not special? Everything about it is improved over
Okay.
any of the other grasses. In fact, a lot of the old standbys are bred into it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So Palmetto's in it. FJ Select's in it.
Okay, so what's good about
Palmetto shade,
right?
FJ Select, drought,
Short.
and
Short.
Slow growing?
And
Relatively drought tolerant compared to everything else.
Well, that's when we get to the next one, Floratam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got Floratam in it, so it's more drought resistant, technically more insect and disease resistant. And then they improve the color, so it's a deeper green.
Oh, that's cool.
Supposed to take less fertilization, although I still think 3-4 times a year is right.
Yeah.
And they made it glyphosate resistant.
Mm-hmm. Which means if you have weeds,
it doesn't matter how cold it is outside or how hot it is outside, glyphosate works.
Okay.
So you can't use, for example, broadleaf weed killers in the middle of the summer. You just can't do it.
Okay. For the grass?
Out of their temperature range, they'll screw up the grass just more than as much they would the weed.
So, that's interesting. So they'll have no impact on. I mean, I just understood this would have no impact on the grass. Wouldn't kill it.
Right.
But I didn't put together the weather part of it.
Sure.
Well, Trace has taught me this. I always assumed it, but Trace has
all post-emergent herbicides have windows that they're effective in.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that window, they either don't work or they start screwing up the grass just as much as they do the weed.
Oh, wow, okay.
Or worse.
And do I remember, too, that it was slow growing, that you didn't have to cut it as often?
It was bred with the FJ to be shorter stolons.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay. Huh. That's a pretty good grass. And if I just need a few of them, I can come here on Fridays, but maybe I should call first?
Or come right now.
Oh, okay. That's true. I guess it's not. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I was on the Friday thing. So we have some now that will sell by the piece. Okay. Get over here. 210-308-8867. Anything else they should get over here for right now? Like maybe the rodeo tomato?
Rodeo tomato is a good one. Yeah. If you did not get your spouse something for Valentine's Day, I suggest you come over now and get something.
Okay.
And you're still alive.
Can you do the e-card and will Millburgers take the blame?
Yes,
we thought it went out on Valentine's.
I'll do that. I'll do that for you, Milton.
Okay.
If you forgot.
Ask Trace to cover for you. Trace, I'm buying the e-card. You get my back. But the e-card is good for gifts too. But yeah, so if you didn't buy Valentine's, I was too stuck on the e-card. What are you suggesting? Come here.
Come here.
Yeah.
And
pick up
a flowering plant.
Yes. Okay.
Or a rose bush or something to get you out of the doghouse.
Yeah. What's your rose bush recommendation?
Metabulus.
Okay, Metabulus. Mark?
Dudley's Cross. This is Dudley's
Okay.
Cross.
Calvin, rose recommendation for the... you're going to write about these. You're going to tell them what your favorite is?
I did. Oh, yeah. I did.
Carefree Beauty.
Carefree Beauty. It's my favorite.
And what was it we learned about that? Was that it's...
Wait, we identified it as...
Get a little closer if you don't mind. Get a little closer. Thank you.
We identified it as a old-fashioned rose, but it turned out it was not an old-fashioned rose. It was one that was just had
Road.
good, had good characteristics and capabilities, but it was a tough modern rose.
Okay.
But we have some here.
Good.
Yeah, so
what do its blooms look like?
Huh?
What do its blooms look like?
They're relatively large, 3 inches to 4 inches across, darker pink than Belinda's Dream.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they have basically a 1-layer, 2-layer petal structure, and the other thing they have are the berries.
The rose hips.
Rose hips.
Okay.
So if the birds are willing to share with you, then you can. And if you like rose hip tea, that's one of those that can produce it.
Is rose hip tea supposed to be healthy?
Really good for your fluids.
Oh, I didn't know that.
With vitamin C.
Well, that's what I thought. I know that we used to buy vitamin C with the rose hips.
Right.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't have the same floral quality as Belinda's Dream.
Yeah, we do have Belinda's Dream, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Belinda's Dream a lot.
Yeah, that one is pretty spectacular.
I checked this morning. So
okay.
I had all my 4 favorites.
Yeah, and knockouts. I'm sure.
We
some.
got a handful.
Okay.
Grandma's yellow.
Yeah, and that's hard to get. So if you want that one, and that's beautiful. Look it up online. You will love it. All right. Yes, sir?
I was hiccuping.
What's that?
I was hiccuping.
Oh, you were hiccuping. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to say goodbye for today. Yes, sir? What's that?
I was going to talk a little bit about Trace's Metabolus. That's a pretty spectacular roast, too.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll start the show off with Metabolus.